Ladies and gentlemen, again from Caesars Tahoe, boxing action continues. A scheduled 8-round matchup in the heavyweight division. Judges at ringside this afternoon, John McSweeney, Chuck Giampa, Herb Santos, and referee Norm Budden. And now, ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, weighing in at 210 pounds, wearing red, green, and white trunks, with a professional record of 11 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, with 5 wins by KO. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Hart. And
大家好，老师从业中医男科30余年，帮助了数千名海内外华人朋友通过中药调理重回男性雄风。如果你也存在房事时间短、勃起无力、硬度差、中途疲软、肾虚、前列腺炎等问题，现在就加中医老师微信574-993-200，纯中药，一人一方，治根治本，帮助你持续坚挺20至40分钟，补肾壮阳，延时助勃，彻底告别快男软男。记住微信574-993-200。
On the other hand, is really a little more than a blown-up cruiserweight. This is his career high, coming in at 210 pounds. As recently as last year in February, he weighed 188 pounds for a bout. So this is heavy for him. You know, and I'd like to see. I think this is. You know, we were talking earlier to Lou Duva and to Ronnie Shields, and this is probably, you know, the last fight of this caliber you're going to see Tua in. They're going to have to move him up in caliber, hoping to get into that 20-0 mark after today.
Well, again, like Wilfredo Rivera, he's got to be patient. They can't rush him because he really has to step up that next notch, as you say, not all the way up. He's not ready for a title shot, and I think the whole Duva camp, main events, they'll be the first to tell you he's not ready yet. But they are keeping him very, very active. He's one of the most active heavyweights around, and there's nothing more important than activity.
Just a kid, he's 22 years of age. That's Tua in the black shorts. And Sean Hart in the multicolored shorts.
What Sean Hart is doing right now, that dancing, that moving, is reminiscent of a fight he fought in New York back in late April. He was doing the same thing, and then as he was dancing around the ring with a short apron, he went back to the ropes, and his right foot caught the scorecard of one of my judges, Melvina Lathan, and down he went. Twisted an ankle, couldn't continue.
Bizarre ending. Hey, Randy, let me ask you a question. You were commissioner at the time there. I mean, did they get on top of you to say, gee, if you tripped on this thing, it was an abstract object in the ring, should it have been declared a no contest?
Quite frankly, they didn't put up enough of a fight, because if I was in his corner, I would have done that. I would have looked for a no contest. But we ruled it right away that the guy went down on his own volition, so forth. He couldn't continue. He was ruled a TKO loser.
Okay, we're about halfway gone in round number 1. We're scheduled for 8 here. Tua's got 16 knockouts in his 19 wins. Don't take your eyes off the screen.
He has a very powerful left hook, which he likes to throw when he gets in close. And I think the best thing that Sean Hart can do is stay exactly where he is and keep pumping that left hand over and over again.
3 fighters that have gone the distance with Tua. Krishna Wainwright back in '93 went 6 rounds with him. Lester Jackson went 8. And then a very good unknown fighter. I mean, I know him from living on the West Coast, Everton Davis, handled by Bill Slayton out there. Went the full 10 with Tua.
Well, that says a lot, because Slayton is the former trainer of Kenny Norton, and he always insists on conditioning and style, and he makes his guys spend time in the gym. And you mentioned the other guy, Lester Jackson, who went to a decision with him out of New York, former Golden Glover, southpaw, knows how to survive, and that's exactly what he did against Tua, survive.
Of course, the biggest name probably that Tua's fought is a fellow by the name of Kenny Lacusta out of Canada. Remember the night he rocked George in George's comeback fight?
That's right.
Had his moment of greatness there. He stopped Lacusta in 4 rounds, and that was back in October of '94. We're looking forward to seeing him move up against some of the other up-and-coming heavyweights, as we're under 15 seconds to go in round number 1 on the Cedric Christian Sports Network. I'm Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal, along with the commissioner, Randy Gordon. Coming to the close of round number 1.
Man, you don't have to be a body. No, you don't have to be an athlete to use Medrex at all. To use Medrex.
Second round of a scheduled 8 rounder. That's David Tua in the black shorts with the white stripe. Sean Hart out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, came into this fight 11-3-2, 5 knockouts in the multicolored shorts. green, he's got white stars, he's got a little red band, he's got some white. He's a big right to the body from Tua, and you said we'd be seeing some body shots in there. That's the first real solid one he landed. We mentioned this is the heaviest Hart's ever come in at 210 pounds, and it shows around his middle, Randy.
Well, you know, if he came in if he was fighting a guy with a lot of experience, a veteran and so forth, I think it would hurt him. But I don't believe Sean Hart indeed is a heavyweight. He's a big cruiserweight, and if he's going to win any world championship, it is going to be as a cruiserweight, not as a heavyweight.
And a cruiser, he only had 5 knockouts in his 11 wins. And you take a look at David Tua's neck, and you have a hard time believing that Hart's going to be able to wobble his head at all.
Yeah, weight doesn't make a fighter a bigger puncher. You're not going to knock out more guys just because you put on more weight. If it was a natural growth, if you're 20 years old and all of a sudden you grow into it, like for instance, if Roy Jones should happen to grow into a light heavyweight, which he will, and a cruiserweight, he's not going to knock more guys out because he's getting stronger, just because he's a great fighter. Sean Hart's doing what he has to. He's staying on the outside. Tony Trudick told him, you just stay on the outside. As he comes to you, drop the hook on him. Both corners have winners. Tony Trudick is working the corner of Sean Hart. And, of course, the captain, Lou Duba, working the corner of David Tua, along with Ronnie Shields.
And right now, Hart's showing some good movement. It'll be interesting to see how well he can do this if he can... Oh, a big left hook traps Hart. Big left hook.
That last right hand was uncalled for.
Well, we'll get into that in 1 second. We have a little bit more than a minute to go here, and Hart, very wobbly, tells the ref he can continue. Referee Norm Button gives a warning for hitting while he's down.
Very good.
And he's taking a point away, Randy.
Very good. I want to see referees do more of that. I wouldn't even mind 2 points for taking away.
But right now, on very unsteady legs, Sean Hart trying to keep on running away. Tua does that jumping in left hook. Even though he doesn't fight peekaboo style, he threw that left hook lunging in, similar to the way Mike Tyson, I would want to say, used to throw his, because we won't know if he still does until August 19th.
And from what I'm hearing, he has not forgotten how to throw the left hook or the right hand or any other punch.
A couple of left hooks on his own there by Sean Hart, getting on his bicycle, trying to keep Tua off now with a sharp jab.
Sean has got
20 seconds to go in round number 2, and he may survive it.
Hands have to stay up, Ronnie. He's dropping those hands. And we talked at the opening about Tua, how he likes to fight on the inside, and you see it now.
We're coming to the close of round number 2. This is scheduled for 8. Scheduled for 8. It was a knockdown in round number 2, but the 2-point, what normally might have been a 2-point advantage, was negated by the fact that Tua hit Hart while he was on the floor. Norm Button took a point away, and it seemed that Hart weathered the storm, but there was a 2-punch combination at the end. Randy, between rounds, you're talking about the Association of Commissions, and that's something that a lot of people at home aren't familiar with. Give us a quick capsule on what that is exactly.
It's all the commissions in the United States and Canada all getting together to form basically a national commission. And as we are on the air, about 60 miles from here in Reno, Nevada, they're all meeting. And what we're doing, we're holding frequent seminars to teach the referees the right thing to do. And you saw the ref do the right thing there by deducting a point. Fighters have to know that they're going to be either deducted points or disqualified if they continue this dirty fighting.
Well, hopefully that'll lead to some universal rules, if not anything else, maybe just some North American rules where everybody sees things the same way. Right now, Sean Hart's seeing a lot of leather, though, from David Tua, who's really starting to get on the inside. Tries to land that lunging left hook again as we got a little bit more than a minute going by in round number 3. That's Tua. He's in the black shorts, undefeated, 19-0 with 16 big knockouts. Hart really spent most of his time down at cruiserweights. Weighed 188 pounds as recently as Feb 94 and a career-high 210 today. Only has 5 knockouts, landing some shots, but not able to hurt the bigger Tua.
He threw those punches with bad intentions, and it's making Tua see that this guy in front of him, Sean Hart, has not come right here just to become a statistic, a loss.
He's scoring points, but he's obviously a lot better off when he keeps his distance, use that jab, and try to stay away from that left hook of Tua. Tua's lands a nice low blow in there, just for good measure.
Referee told him to get his shots up. When you're a body puncher the way Tua is, you are going to land some low shots. That will happen. That's not intentional.
Under a minute to go in round number 3. Scheduled for 8. Tua's been 10 one time. That was again against Everton Davis, as we mentioned, back in '94. Won 8 rounds one time, and that was against Lester Jackson, and 6 rounds one time against Krishna Wainwright. Everything else, the knockout stoppers. Oh, and a good left-right combination. Boy, wobbles. I got to admit, pretty good chin on. Oh,
Justin, you were saying.
I buy back that comment that he eats a big right hand.
Nah, you can't. You know, he does have a good chin. He took some hard licks. He stood up under them, and then he took another hard shot to send him down. Somebody else might have been down earlier.
I think he got hurt by the previous combination because he started to tip forward, threw some punches of his own. And Tua really starting to unload now. We're under 10 seconds to go in round number 3. Hart trying to survive the round. Another lunging left hook. One misses by inches. Fourth round action, and Duba's marching orders was take his head off. And basically the body punches at this point are doing what they're designed to do. They're bringing down Sean Hart's arms and leaving his head open.
There's been some wicked body shots. We talked about them earlier on the part of David, too, and he covers up so nice. Those shots are slapping shots, especially with the right hand on the part of Sean Hart, of bouncing off the shoulders and elbows and arms. The Mike Tyson-like David Tua.
Does a nice job also of cutting off the ring. And, he traps in the corner. He's got Hart over there, works that body. He's going to bring those hands down as he does it. Dropping that left hook in, 3 unanswered left hooks.
Hart's got to get out of there. He can't stay on the ropes.
Tua needs a little bit more patience. He doesn't need to throw that left hook from that far out. He could take a step in, possibly.
Tell me from this angle. He doesn't. Well, if I told you that was Mike Tyson right now, stop. Hey, that is Mike Tyson.
And Hart, H-A-R-T, has a lot of H-E-A-R-T. You got to give him nothing else than that, as we got a minute gone by here in round number 4.
Arnie, he certainly does. He has taken some wicked licks, both to the head and body, and here he is still trying his heart.
More than a minute gone by here in round number 4. It's scheduled for 8. Hart's been down in the second and the third round. Tua had a point taken away for hitting Hart while he was down. Referee Norm Button doing a good job here.
Referee's doing a great job, and I still am so proud of him. And I'm going to tell him later. I like that you took a point away, and it's going to go on my tape to show other referees as we give seminars around the country.
The only unfortunate part is in a situation like that, short of disqualification, you really can't take back the effect of the shot, though.
No.
So you're really faced with the quagmire of,
but
you take the point away, but you disqualify the fighter, or there's no way to take away the damage that the punch did.
If referees continue to do that, one day in a fight like this, it is going to go to a decision. And at one point, it's going to cost the guy the fight. Fighters have to know they've got to stop this flagrant, dirty fighting.
45 seconds to go in round number 4. In all, Tua. Tua in the black shorts. Hart in the white with the green. The stars, the red stripe. Making our job much more difficult than it needs to be. So we're under 30 seconds to go. Good overhand right by Tua. And Tua seems maybe just a wee bit punched out at this point. He's thrown a lot of punches in the first 3 rounds. When he throws those whizzing left hooks and they don't land, and it takes a lot out of you on missing a shot like that.
Right, so he toned it down a little bit. He's saving for that one big shot now. He should be putting his punches together, especially to the body.
Oh, 2 low blows landed there. He may lose another point here. Norm Button gives him a warning. Round number 5, it's scheduled for 8 in a very game. Sean Hart was down in the 3rd round. Was down also in the 2nd round. Miraculously didn't go down in the 4th round, Randy. I don't know what kept him up.
I don't know either.
And I think David too is wondering as well.
Yes, he certainly is living up, Sean, to his last name.
Still got pretty good legs underneath him, good lateral motion.
I got to tell you, if you were listening in the corner, honey, that last time, to the corner of David too, Ronnie Shields saying this referee's not going to give you anything. Don't blame anything on the referee. He is doing a great job.
Well, I think he was probably, what he was trying to say was, don't get yourself disqualified. You threw 2 low blows there, and you can wake up with Norm Button saying, you're out of here. You hit a guy while he was down. You've been hitting him flagrantly below the belt. Take a hike, and he'll have his first loss.
Well, again, with body punches, such as David Tua, see shots like that when you're throwing a lot of body shots. Many times the guy will push your arms down, and again, he's getting that warning. One more time, I'm telling you, he's going to lose another point.
He dropped one right on the hip then to Sean Hart. A little more than a minute going by here in round number 5.
Norm Button has already shown us he's not going to take anything. And he's already warned him twice for low shot.
Oh, and he dropped. There's that lunging left hook. Hart mugs for him, but
it's more than
nothing else.
He's hurt.
Trying to cover up.
What he's got to do is use his 210 pounds and lean. Grab onto David Tua, hold on to him, lean on him, and make David work.
There's a little bit of aggression there. We're a little bit more than halfway gone in round number 5.
I could matchmake in my mind. I got a fight David Tua against New York State heavyweight champion Melvin Foster, who's about his size. Nice fight. And Melvin's always looking for opposition. Just recently dropped the 10-rounders to beat Carl Truth Williams.
And of course was the last-second replacement.
Did a very nice job.
Heavyweight champion Michael Mora. 2 good uppercuts landing, and they're going back downstairs to the body. Tua a little tentative now on his body punching because he doesn't want to throw another low blow, Randy.
He's thinking about it. It's exactly what Ronnie Shields was talking about. And now he's very concerned about having another point, his second, taken away in this bout.
At the same time, he's comfortably ahead with the 2 knockdowns.
You know, Shaw got off to a fine start. He won the first round on my official scorecard. And then the second round, he was also winning. And late in the round, he went down, but then got struck by a foul blow, a flagrant hit when he's on the deck. But since that time, it's been all David Tua.
Under 15 seconds to go in round number 5, and I've unofficially got a 39-34 at the end of 4. And at the end of this round, you can make that 49-43 David Tua. At the end of round number 5, scheduled for 8 heavyweights.
That's 800-737-9800. 737-9800.
Every time Sean Hart goes to those corners, because he knows that's not a place this guy wants to be.
6th round of a scheduled 8-rounder. These are heavyweights. That's undefeated David Tua in the black shorts, 19-0. 16 big knockouts. Looking to improve to 20-0. Had Sean Hart down in the second, had him down in the third. Miraculously, Hart's still here. Really nothing more than a blown-up cruiser. He's hanging in there right now with Tua. Hart came in 11-3-2, but only 5 knockouts, all of those coming against cruiserweights. Not big punching power. His legs are what kept him in the fight thus far. Continuous warnings from referee Norm Button for low blows has at least temporarily stopped the barrage of body shots. Didn't stop from Tua, and there was a big right to the body.
That's what I call a rib roaster. You feel that for days. That stays with you like a bad meal.
But I think Sean Hart at this point is measured. Which is bothering him more, the body shots or those big left hooks and rights thrown by Tua, and he's letting him, when he lands the body shots, he's not pulling his arms down. Hart looks a little fatigued now, Randy. He's looking to hold on to the rope to keep himself up.
Remember, he's fighting at a weight about 15 pounds over what he's used to, and he's been bouncing around a lot. He's had to work very, very hard. So he is, at this point, showing some fatigue. You see those deep breaths he's taking now.
About 22 pounds heavier than when he fought at 794 at 188 pounds.
This is not his weight.
And you can see by that roll around the middle. But I'll tell you, this is the first time I've had the opportunity to see Hart. I know you saw him before, as you mentioned, in his infamous trip on the paper fight. I'm impressed with his legs and his style. I could, I'm trying to visualize him 20 pounds lighter and not a bad fighter.
He really should get down there. He should train hard and stay in that cruiserweight division. Listen, the cruiserweights out there, there's no Evander Holyfield running around the cruiserweight division. This guy should get down there and go for some big money. Not to serve as a sparring partner, if you will, and get beat up by a David Tua. He started out fine, but he has been just getting beat around. And tomorrow, I tell you this, Sean Hart is going to hurt in places he never knew he had places.
And coming on the 32nd mark here in round number 6, Randy, quick comment on Tua right now. How does he have to feel that he hasn't been able to stop Hart after putting him down twice?
I think he's going to be he's going to say, this is a tough kid. And look, he's whacking this guy, and Sean is now bleeding from I think it's the mouth, maybe a little bit from the nose, and he keeps talking to him, saying, bring it on, come on, more. Tua doesn't look frustrated.
Oh, big right to the body. And that did bring the hands down. He's got those elbows watching the sides now. And you're wondering, though, why Tua's just not lunging in with that left hook that's landed for him so well.
He will.
1-800-449-2100.
Round number 7 is scheduled for 8, and if you were watching in the second and third round, you wouldn't think that you'd be here in round number 7, because those are 2 rounds that Sean Hart was down, and down hard, and he's been rocked hard since then, but Tua just hasn't been able to do it. And Randy, they had some things to say to him between rounds on the corner.
They don't like the fact that he took a few backward steps. They asked him, what are you backing up for? Ronnie Shea said, what are you backing up for? Get in on him and throw punches. Don't step back.
That's a mistake that a lot of young fighters make. Sometimes they like to admire his work, and there's an interesting recurrence here of something that happened. He just tripped over a cameraman at ringside.
You talk about deja vu. This is that same kind of ring they had in New York, a very short apron. And I've gone over it with all of my former officials, that they'll never do that again. And I think I'm going to bring this back to Mark Ratner and tell him about it, and make these cameramen back up a little bit, make those judges back up a little bit.
Sean Hart getting a second win here in this round, too. He's got good legs, using the whole ring right now. And although not hurting Tua, certainly scoring points, landing that jab in there and throwing that right in afterwards as well. Tua having a little bit of trouble cutting off the ring right now, and Hart though walks into that right hand.
That was a measuring right hand, and now Tua knows this guy is slowing down enough. I think you're going to see a whistling right hand get him out of it. Oh, those are tenderizers.
And our guys in the truck want us to clarify it and be sure that everybody knows it wasn't our cameraman that he almost tripped over. Of course, it was the still photographer.
Yeah,
reminiscent, though, because this is the crew that was around when Adolfo Washington and Virgil Hill fought. And in the 12th round, Adolfo Washington was stopped on a cut by the cameraman.
That was a freak. You just don't see that. Glad I wasn't the commissioner on duty that night.
We got a little bit more than a minute to go here in round number 7. That's Tua in the black shorts. Sean Hart out of Philly. He was down in the second and third round, but he's still here in round number 7.
No more bad intentions on his punches. At this point, much of the steam is off any of his shots.
Not a bad round number 7 for Sean Hart. Part of me wants to say the challenge is Sean Hart, because Sean Hart came in here today in somewhat of a opponent role.
He's still talking, man. He's saying, come on. He's telling Tua, come on. And Tua's saying, okay, fine. Here I come. Maybe he's saying, come on, give me a break.
1 minute to go.
Corner yelling at Tua instructions. He just doesn't seem to be able to implement them. Again, good points. Oh, and a good left hook. And he's got Hart hurt.
He's still talking. I don't believe it.
8th and final round. They're heavyweights, and it's certainly going to be one that Sean Hart's going to remember tomorrow morning and maybe many years from now, and he tells his kids and his grandchildren about it, especially if David Tua goes on to be any sort of heavyweight champion of the world. He's been down in the second and third round. Many wouldn't think he'd be here in round number 8, but he's still standing, still circling. Almost went down again at the end of round number 7, Randy.
And amazingly, there's some more bounce left in those big legs again of Sean Hart. Just when it looked like he was finished at the end of last round, the bounce is back. I think it's only temporary, though. I think that's Hart.
That's the H-E-A-R-T persuasion as opposed to H-A-R-T as he spells it.
And as we've watched from round 1, Sean certainly does have an abundance of it.
Hart was stopped in his last fight, but of course, as Randy mentioned, it was a very strange occurrence. Tripping over a piece of paper and a pen at ringside from one of the judges.
I mean, he went down quick like he was on some ice. He went by it, his foot hit it, and down he went. Twisted the ankle, he took his boxing shoe off, and his ankle was swollen, and he stopped the fight.
Now pretty much in a survival mode, looking to become the 4th person to go to distance with David Tua. The other 3, as we mentioned earlier, Everton Davis, Lester Jackson, Krishna Wainwright. The other 16 all went down by the KO route. We're halfway gone in round number 8.
You can't help but find yourself rooting a little bit for Sean Hart to make it, that Rocky syndrome, go the distance. And you know he really does want to go the distance.
Good right body shot again. And at the same time, the Tua is coming from a totally different place. He doesn't want him to go to distance. Why should he let a blown-up cruiserweight that he put down in the second and third round. Get off the hook. Either way, though, going into this round, I had a 69-61 for David Tua, comfortably ahead, so it's just a question about whether he goes to 20-0 with 17 knockouts or 20-0 and remains at 16 KOs. And right now, well, that's not where Hart wants to stay, Randy, if he wants to survive this round. He does not want to stay here and get macho with David Tua. There's still 40 seconds to go in the fight.
He's got to grab on. You really want to see him finish. Maybe you don't. I do.
No, I would like to see it as well. Makes everything a lot more interesting right now. Referee Norm Button pulled him off there. Didn't let him hang on too long. Still snapping a jab, though. Gets a couple of jabs. Oh, and eats a big right hand. 15 seconds to go in round number 8. Cannot be saved by the bell in the last round. Eats another right, and it looks like he's going to survive. And you'll have something interesting to talk to Tua about just what was he in there. And he's going to go right up until the end. And you got to love this kid.
Absolutely.
And there you got it. Sean Hart goes to full 8 rounds with David Tua after being dropped in the second and third round. The crowd here at Caesars Palace on their feet, applauding not David Tua for winning a fight, going away, but for Sean Hart surviving the full 8 rounds, coming off the floor in the second and the third round, getting hit while on the floor by David Tua. Tua lost a point for that. Continuous low body shots and warnings given by referee Norm Button, who did a terrific job. We're going to take a look here at action from round number 8. Another devastating round for David Tua, landing big blows. But then, just when you think he's about to drop, Sean Hart would get back on that bicycle, stick some jabs. Punching power couldn't hurt Tua. Didn't score enough to win any rounds on my card. Nevertheless, though, unofficially 79-70 at the end of 8. We take a look at Sean Hart out of Philadelphia. As we said, really a blown-up cruiser coming into this, weighed 188 pounds, February 94. We take a look at the end. They're going to go toe-to-toe. Hart said, okay, I survived the 8. Now you're going to take a few shots from me, because when you wake up tomorrow morning, I just want you to have a slight inkling that I was here, because I know I'm going to remember you. Thing is, though, Tua may remember him might even forget him after dinner tonight. Hart's going to remember him for a good 2-3 weeks. Took some big shots. And we're going to go up to our ring announcer here, Paul Reeder.
Our appreciation to both boxers, a terrific fight this afternoon. Judge John McSweeney scores the bout 77-72. Judge Chuck Giampa scores the bout 79-71. Judge Herb Santos scores the bout 79-70. By unanimous decision, ladies and gentlemen, and still undefeated, David Tua.
There you have it. Tua improved to 20-0. Stays with 16 knockouts. The scores were 77-72, 79-71, and agreeing with me, 79-70. Sean Hart's going to drop to 11-4-2. But a gallant effort. He was down in the second round. Got hit while he was down. And we're going to go up to Randy Gordon, who's in the ring with David Tua, who just went 8 rounds with Sean Hart. Take it away, Randy.
Well, something in the record book, it's going to look like it's just another victory for David Tua. But, man, you had to work for this one, didn't you?
Well, first of all, I thank the Lord, for the strength and the courage. But, I wanted to end the fight a bit quicker, but unfortunately things didn't go my way. I think I have to go back to the gym and stepping up the pace. I think there's a lot of things I need to work on, especially, with a fighter like this.
The Exploring program of the Boy Scouts of America gives teenagers a head start on life, learning leadership skills, developing interpersonal communication.
Try to bring him over here, because certainly he deserves to get in here with you. Sean, you fought one heck of a fight. How did you stand up to that?
I don't know. Just hard training and a lot of incentive. I mean, a lot of people. Dave's a great fighter. He brought the best out in me, and it was one hell of a day.
When it came down to that final round, I mean, he hit you with some wicked shots. Were you trying just to hang on and just go the distance?
I was hoping actually to tire him out and come back on him, to tell you the truth. So,
what's your honest assessment of this man now as a prospect in the heavyweight division?
He's Tyson to me, and he feels like him too, let me tell you that.
Sean, I want to see you again. Good luck.
I'd like a rematch, so down the road.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to Captain Lou Duva.
No problem. Get together with me. We'll have a rematch. I got 3-4.
I want to say hi to all the people at Temple Law School. I'm starting her next month.
Okay, he certainly deserves to get his hellos in because he took a licking tonight. Lou, what did it show you tonight on the part of David Tua?
I think David's going to come a long way. He's learning. He's trying different styles. That's what I've been putting him with right now. I would like to see him throw a little more punches. And sometimes he goes into a trance where he's not punching enough the way he should be punching. But he's coming along good. I'm satisfied with what I see out there. And he went 8 good rounds with a guy that ran all night. Remember that. The guy didn't stand up to the fight until the last 10 seconds.
Okay, David, what do you feel you have to work on in order to get to that goal, the heavyweight championship of the world one day?
Well, like Lou said, I got to step at the pace, which means I got to step it up to the guy, keep working my way into the zone, to the punching zone, and just keep throwing punches. And like Lou said, I got to keep going in with a guy that runs a lot, because the last round, it came to fight. But those are the things I should go back into the gym and listen to the trainers and keep working on it and keep improving on my game plan.
Well, he's been working hard enough now. That's victory number 20 in 20 fights. His name is David Tua. Let's go back to ringside and our own heavyweight, Arnie Rosenthal.
Thanks, Commission. Great to see Randy back on the airwaves.